Good morning and welcome back to Vlogtober day 12. Aren't the days going by really quickly? So here I am in the living room again today and I've got my fluffy top on. And this is actually really old, and I mean really old. And I've got it on today because it's quite cold today. When I woke up this morning and I checked the temperature, it was 5 degrees. And just before I started recording this video, it's only 7 degrees. So you can imagine how cold it is. Because it's been so warm in September and the beginning of October, it's really weird having the heating on quite a long time. Normally I'd put the heating on just to get the chill off, but now I'm actually putting it on just to keep the warmth in the house. So I'm here today, as you can see, the sun has come out. So I've just had to change the camera position because where I was, the sun had really come out and it was shining in my eye and overexposing the recording. After my exercise yesterday, and I was out quite a long time, I think I was out for about 2.5 hours, namely because I stopped by to speak with Don, and he's a local artist. And if you didn't see yesterday's video, go back and check that out because you'll see the painting he's doing at the moment in that spot within Winchester. So I stopped to speak with him for about 10-15 minutes, maybe a bit longer, and then I went to do the intro for yesterday's video around St. Catherine's Hill, and that took a long time. And by the time I got back, it was nearly 3 o'clock. I had my lunch between 3 and 4. And literally, I went from having my lunch to sorting out the kitchen, preparing dinner, because although I'm on my own, I had chicken to prepare and I wasn't sure what to have. So I made my mock KFC chicken version. And I just put that in the oven, did a few bits and pieces, had my dinner, had my shower, and then I started editing yesterday's video at about 9:30. And although it's quite a short video and it was an easy one to edit, by the time I finished it, I got it uploaded within about 7 minutes before it was midnight. So I got it done, but I did it as simple as possible. All I did was add the title and the thumbnail, and this morning I added all the descriptions and what have you, but I got it there before midnight. Unfortunately, I got to bed late again. As you can see, I've taken my fluffy top off, and I've also turned the heating off because I am actually standing by one of the radiators in the living room and I was getting very hot. So I had to stop recording and turn the heating off. Going back to last night, I had a really good sleep after the exercise and after all the bits that I had to do and going to bed late. And I think part of the reason that I got really good sleep is because, one, I was tired because it had been a busy day, and two, I slept in the middle of the bed. And I can't remember, I think it was day 4 or 5 when I mentioned about my issues with the bed, or rather the issues with the mattress being too soft. So the bed base is basically slats, but in the middle of the bed between myself and Mr. G, there's a bit of wood there to support all the other slats going into the middle. And because there's more wood there at that part of the base, it's a lot more comfortable. Whereas where Mr. G and I sleeps, there's already, apparently the term is called settling, where your body creates indentations on the mattress. I'm a bit peed off with that because we've had the mattress less than 6 months, and I pointed this out to the bed company, but they weren't having any of it, and they just said it's part of it's just wear and tear. And the previous mattress we had, it took a good 4 or 5 years before we had any issues with it, whereas this one, and it's a really good expensive mattress, I was surprised this has happened so quick. And the only reason that I can think of is because although it's a luxurious mattress, it's too soft, and this is why I sleep in the middle of the bed, because it's got that support in the middle, or there's more wood in the middle, and I can really tell the difference, because I did that the last time Mr. G was away and I had better sleep then as well. So my plan is to ask Mr. G to get some wood to put on my side of the mattress base, because I'm the one who thinks that the bed or the mattress is actually quite comfortable. He seems happy with it, although when I wake up in the middle of the night and I see him sleeping, he's in a funny position. But that's why we're all different, I guess. It's just gone 12 o'clock now and I'm about to make my lunch. As you can see, the frying pan is already heating up on the stove. And I forgot to tell you this morning that since doing all this exercise, I've become even more hungry. And although I've been eating a lot of carbs for dinner, I am trying to avoid the carbs during the day. Although saying that, I've already got an almond croissant that I'm planning to have after my lunch. But it's been there for a couple of days now. I meant to eat it yesterday, but I had my lunch so late that I just didn't have time to eat it. So I am definitely going to have it today. Otherwise it's going to be too stale and it will just get wasted. So what I was trying to say was, this morning, to avoid me having any breakfast or having any carbs for lunchtime, I had my bulletproof coffee, which I haven't made for a long time. Because it's made with coconut oil and butter, it got to a point that because of all the fat that's in it, it was making my digestion a bit uncomfortable. So I haven't had any bulletproof coffee for probably about 2 or 3 months. But it has really helped because it stopped me needing to snack, it stopped me needing to have breakfast. And the whole point with that is to fast, because fasting is meant to be really good for you. It gives your digestive system time to relax and not have to do any work. And it creates something called autophagy. I think that's how you say it. And basically, while you're fasting, your body is regenerating. By doing that, it leaves you with a nice healthy functioning cells instead. So that's why I tried to fast, or we tried to fast, and we've been doing this now since about January or February time, when I bought my scales and Mr. G and I got on the scales and discovered that we're not as fit as we thought we were. And as you do during the lockdowns, I think a lot of us just let ourselves go and let our health go. So this year we've been making a bit more of an effort to get fit, or cut down on all those naughty things like snacks and alcohol. So that's what I wanted to tell you this morning about going back on my bulletproof coffee in the morning. Just for today. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it tomorrow, because it takes a bit longer to make, basically. And I quite like peas in the mornings, but because I tend to use the hand blender or the food processor, I just don't like all that noise in the morning. So I'm going to make my lunch and I'll show you what that looks like when it's ready. This is my lunch for today. It's basically a sea bass with mixed leaf salad from Tesco's, and hopefully it won't be as gritty as the other ones that I got from last week. I've put the purple sauerkraut on top of that, and I've also added a bit of apple cider vinegar because my stomach's feeling a bit uncomfortable at the moment. And I think, to be honest, it's probably to do with me having too much chili in my food in the past week or so. But anyway, and that little piece there is a piece of chicken that I had left over from yesterday's dinner. I have to say I was definitely ready for that lunch. Oh, I was so hungry, and I think I was a lot hungrier than I thought I was. So now that lunch is finished, like I promised, I am treating myself to the almond croissant and a cup of tea, which is brewing at the moment. This is red bush tea, which is what I have in the afternoons if I fancy a hot drink. That, or I'll sometimes have a peppermint tea. And the reason I have red bush tea is because it's naturally decaffeinated, and I don't have to worry about it disturbing my sleep at night because it is decaffeinated. And what's more important, it's naturally decaffeinated, which means there's no harsh chemicals in it as well. It's 20 to 4 now, and I have to admit to you, after lunch, or rather after my croissant, which I found was really sweet this time for some reason, so after lunch I went to have a nap. I just couldn't focus, my brain wasn't engaging. It looks like it's still not engaging, and I knew it was pointless trying to do anything because it would have been a waste of time anyway. And I went to lie down on the sofa and I started watching Married at First Sight UK. Yes, I know it's a bit tacky, and I don't know what these people are thinking they're going to achieve in such a short space of time in terms of creating a relationship with someone. But anyway, I started watching that and it went into the adverts, and it's like, oh my goodness. It just feels like there's more adverts than there is the program. So I got fed up with that in one of I think the first 15 minutes, and so I went on to Netflix and started watching Squid Games. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it's quite a, let's just say it's not a very nice film, but it's getting good reviews. So I started watching it and I fell asleep after about 10 minutes. So that just shows you how tired I was. And instead of doing the editing earlier on, I'm going to do my editing now. And I don't think there's much I can show you today in terms of, for this vlog anyway. So I'm going to get on with the editing. And I hope you come back tomorrow for Vlogtober 2021, day 13.